Alright, happy Friday. Happy Friday after yesterday's sad ending. This car not being finished. The other day, that car not being finished. Let's start this thing up because I can't really do it at night time. I'll leave it running for a bit whilst we're doing that. Today we're going to install the intercooler, and I just received my intercooler back from my friend. So he welded these joints for me. No, they're not meant to be straight. They're meant to be angled like that so they can fit through the car. Initially they were just straight pipes through there, but then I'd be forced to use a silicone bend. And you guys will understand that once it goes on the car. So we're gonna get this on the car, and then we can slowly start piecing it together bit by bit. So hopefully no issues, simple plug and play, no dramas. I don't need any dramas on a Friday. Alright, let's get it. Alright, getting that to the car. Still leave that running for like 15 minutes or so, or whenever the engine gets hot. Alright, it's time to show this car some love. So the whole idea was for the intercooler to sit there and for the intercooler pipes to go straight through there. I didn't want it to loop it around just because I was worried that it'd sit too low, and also I don't want to delete any of those parts that, like the washer bottle, which you normally have to, or relocate it, because I've done that before. I've done the whole relocation of water bottles and everything, and I'm over it. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so one thing I am learning is I've just pretty much placed this all together using parts that I have in the garage and buying some needed parts off eBay. And what's annoying is the hose fittings aren't the same. So I had to use a screwdriver, and now I have to find the Allen key to fit into this guy and then remove it, which is really annoying. So hopefully with this kit now I'll have all uniform fittings. Alright, that one's not coming off. And I have a cable tie somewhere for some reason. Ouch, I'll bracket. So I've got something in my mouth. Put this away. I don't know where my pliers are. I'm pointing those pliers, so I'm trying to use this. Get it in so I can cut it. There we go. And that's that. And that's some more cable ties. Alright. So initially I welded these all up, and as you can see, I'm not very good when it comes to fabrication. And if you have a look inside, it's pretty... No, camera doesn't want to play with me today. No, it's pretty crud inside. Yeah, I did not purge it. I don't know how to purge it, so hopefully now with this eBay kit, it will be all simpler and nicer. Hey, crazy thing is, the car is idling normally now. So either it's fixed or it's not. But anyways, idling issue fixed. Alright, back to the DC2. Alright, now I have to figure out how you guys are gonna enjoy this. Alright, let's get on, first, let's get the intercooler on. I need to improve the brackets in the future. So, I'm currently using these DIY type of stuff. Hey, my welds. I'm not very good at it. I don't have the patience for it. Or the skill. Actually, I'm just not a welder. This is the idea. It was going to sit like this, going into the car. I'm pretty sure, but I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I've done this. Or maybe it's that further in. I'm gonna have to figure out how it went. Just something like this, it'd be okay. Let's get the bumper on. So that'll give you a rough idea of why I wanted it to look like that. So it flows straight through there. The previous intercooler sat too much there in the middle. It's too small, way too small. Another eBay purchase. So hopefully with this it looks a little bit nicer, and then in the future I'll probably put a cooler there to fill up that space. But so far so good. On these custom made brackets, gonna tighten that because I think that's what you should be doing. Oh, there we go. I knew it's angled. Look at it. It's angled inwards, which is pretty much how I wanted it. But I had forgotten because this was something I did last year or longer. I'm not too sure. Alright, top bracket mounted, and my friend said I should definitely mount the bottom side to the chassis. So I'll do that with some nutserts, get them onto the chassis. Alright, let's do the fun stuff, the intercooler piping. So what I was thinking would be, this would go from this side. This would crawl over, come down, and that'll go into the bottom tube, which is there. And that one will just be nice and short. It's just a straight 90. Probably don't even need a 90. Probably can go directly from there to there. So this could probably be a 90 there, I think. Let's see. Let's get you an angle where you guys can see. Alright. Get these out. So this would go from here. Too high. I need a 90. A 90. Ooh, maybe that would work. And technically it goes straight in from that point. But how do I get that one in? This is the 90. That's the 90. Probably don't need the 90. I can use this side. There. And this would go right here. Awesome. Maybe I have to shorten it. Maybe I have to shorten it. Maybe it doesn't need to be short. I think one side's longer than the other. So go, how do I do this? I'll take it off there, take off the brackets. Basically, maybe like that, but this would be essentially still like this. So it'd be two lines going across, as short the idea was to make it as short as possible, and that one looks like it's a straight shooter into that bottom hose. So I'm gonna need 2 hands. Let me take off this and then take off this, and then we'll see if that makes things easier. So it looks simple enough, but this to this gap is actually quite small, so it's causing me some issues. So this one would have to go all the way down and then come up to go to that bottom one. So that one, so the outlet would have enough space to go to here, if that makes sense, to there, to there. I'll show you what I mean. I need to cut this down. I don't know if I should cut it, because like I said, I'm not a fabricator. I don't understand how much length I need or anything like that. So maybe it would have to go like that. So technically from that point to there. So it has to be extended by a bit. And then I guess the blow valve will sit underneath the pipe I'm holding, I think. It's actually quite hard. They don't know why they charge so much. And looks like I don't even need the rest of that. So hit me up if you need some aluminium hoses. I'm gonna cut this because I think I have to, and then I'll join it to one of those where I'll cut that as well, or maybe should I tack it? Ugh. I don't trust myself. I do not trust myself at all. I could. Let's try tack it. Alright, that's it, we're gonna try tack it. Alright, I was looking for some of my tubing hoses, silicone hoses that I've always had, and this is what I found. This one. Anyone seen any of this? This is a flexi tube. I've used it because I couldn't fabricate. So that's but now to find the boxes of silicone hoses. I don't know where I've put it. By the way, the EG, the code didn't clear, so that's back to the drawing board. Silicone hoses, silicone hoses. I had it here. I used to keep it all in that box. Maybe it's behind it. Why do I have that? You'll find that in the future. I used to have all my intercooler. I hoard a lot. I used to have, I placed all the hoses somewhere in a single place. Now I just don't know where it is. So it's not up here. Spray cans. Got my spray guns and filler putty. And it's locked behind here. This is cloth, blocks and masks. So spare guns might be in a tube like that. So spare paint guns. One more silicone. A flexi tube there. I don't think it's in that one. That box is full of straps from memory. The main problem is I'm not a neat person by default. I just kind of leave things at places and I remember where they are. But when I start to clean, because it's not my nature, I don't know where it goes. And this is not the first time, but I'm positive I had a whole box of tubes, silicone tubes, placed somewhere. It used to be in that box right there, and now I don't know where it is. This is a mess, right? My friend hates this. So I'm gonna pull out that guy and hopefully do some welding. Welding. I need to pull this guy out so I can cut it. Also, but I don't know where those hoses are. You guys are probably getting dizzy, so I'm gonna try to find it And when I find it, we'll celebrate together. Right, I found it. And because I'm not a neat person, watch this. Push this guy aside. And it's here in an unlabeled box. Hoses. Silicone hoses. I don't even know how I got that in there. Struggling to get it out. Because it's a little bit too close, I have a Fixo. Or maybe I should use this one. No, they're just cut hoses. But I think no, Fixo is a trick for the intercooler, the bottom section. Check that out. There's some of the Fixo. But hopefully they'll bring it up slightly higher. But this one still has a gap, so I'm gonna have to figure that section out. But cool. I'm still figuring this out because I'm about to cut some tubing. Should I go like this, where it keeps it super tight and it creates some distance between these two, and then also I can get to that one, right? Is there any way that can reach, like technically, bird's eye view, it'd be like that. So if it's like that, but it can't be because it's too long. But if I go like this, that'd be right distance and everything. But it just means that I have to cut the bottom section. I think that looks a little bit better, right? So I'm gonna cut the eyeball it. Cool. I can eyeball it from the top, and I'd say it's roughly here is where I cut, or maybe here. I'll cut the first distance and we'll see how that goes. So one pipe at a time, slowly cut it. It doesn't actually go in that close, but maybe the idea would be to cut both sides. I'm unsure. Let's just cut one end first, because I think it has to sit like that, right? Also, I guess I can just do a little bead here and then they'll keep all the hoses on. Alright, let's do that and see how we go. Hi guys. Alright, cut from this side. Like that. Alright. You guys can watch me. I should really wear glasses next time. That looks a little bit too sketch even for me. I'm gonna burr this out. Alright, I'm gonna start doing it. I've got files. But the file works so much faster. First, right? Yeah. Why am I doing all this? Just fit it first. Otherwise I'm gonna have to cut it again. So I cut it a little bit below the towards the second line. Should be okay. Let's see. One hand. Let's get it working at this side. Hey, perfect. Perfect. Ooh, a little bit too short, isn't it? I think it's a little bit too short. Unless I flip it around, right? If I flip it around, it should be okay. If I flip it around, you could probably make it. I should have kept it a little bit longer. Ooh. Maybe I can move that silicone hose out the bottom and use it to my advantage. Get it angled a little bit further down. I don't know if that'll be the trick. That's probably. But this, the looks of it, I think I have to cut it more. Right? So this one goes into here. It won't go in because it's too big. That's what she said. Okay. I think I cut that one too short. I don't think I'm supposed to cut this side at all. I have to cut that side. Lucky I have a spare. Cool. So keep the long side. Keep the long side. Cut the short side. So eyeball that. So eyeball that roughly, give or take, here. That's where I should cut. Right? So if it's like, if it goes like that, so that's too close. Cut it from there. Let's go again. I'm a fabricator. Alright, can't find my glasses. So, let's put this in. Alright. Did I cut past the line? I think I cut past the line. Alright, let's clean it. Screw it. Let's put it on. Oh, what's my step? Lamo, done. I think that's done. Alright, let's see. That one go there. Oh, like a glove. So if I could squeeze this guy in. I think that's in. Perfect. That's clear. Nice and simple. Now this guy. How do I do this guy? Do I shorten him? I have to use that because that's the only hose I have. Put a 90 at the bottom, or do I join? Or do I join it? Not too sure. It clears the gearbox shifter mechanism, so that's good. I think I don't know how I feel about this. I didn't want to use this. Maybe I can just get another silicone hose. I really want to get this done. Don't really want to be playing around with this. Alright, let's see. Let's brainstorm. Oh, there we go. So that was a super tight fit. Took forever to get that. I had to really rotate this silicone hose upwards so the temp sensor's there. And this guy should probably go like this. So it'll be somewhat like that. Or be further down. I wonder if I should use the other piece. Where is that angle? I can shorten this, because either way I have to use this. So if I cut it, I should be able to make it slightly, but that end bit needs a 90. No, needs like a straight piece, which I've got. Straight piece. Let's get all that hooked up. So I'm confident that I choose to live my life on hard mode, because look at the solution I came up with. A straight is all that's needed, and a slight 45, which I have in stainless. So I'm there, silicone hose there, and we are done. That's how simple it was. Oh my god. Alright, so just put in the silicone hoses. I should probably put on the clamps so I don't have to do it later. Alright, let's put on the clamps. Clamps, clamps, clamps. Clamps, clamps. So, do I want it to be bolted from which side? Facing outwards. So, I've got a kink, no kink. No kink. Good. So the other day I was saying that I use ChatGPT to create a base map for my car. Upon the very first video you guys would have seen, it was pretty smoky, and that was probably because I was using someone else's base map that they tuned. And on top of that, Honda said I had to update the base map and I had to re-upload it. I didn't have it. I asked my friend, do you have it? He said he doesn't. So like I said, I went through all those standard base maps to try find one that I could use, and my car just kept on stalling and it didn't run that nice. So I said, screw it, I'll just use ChatGPT. I put in my turbo G30 660, I put in my injectors, I put in all the factors that the fact that I changed my final drive on my car to, I'm going to use that guy. It's a lot faster, simpler. I just need a longer attachment. So it's like this. One more time. Let's do it. Then do the bottom brackets and we should be okay. Alrighty. There you are. I gotta hold on to that where the angle is. But like I said, setting for the base map, I don't think it was that bad. And I don't know anything about tuning. I don't know about setting base maps. I don't know anything about picking the right ones. So, just doing what I can. Myself, as much as I can. You guys can join me down here. So, I am just buttoning up these clamps. So many clamps everywhere. I tried to put it in positions where I can easily access it and do things to it, but that in itself is actually quite hard. So this was using a ratchet before. It wasn't hand ratchet. Wasn't expecting it to be that long. That's that. I don't think all those are coming off. Alright, now I just gotta do the final ones. Put one onto there, take a photo. And that's actually quite simple, huh? Quite nice, quite simple. And then I'll get a friend to put the blow valve here or here. Here's probably the easiest one. It'll just stay here. It's a little short turbo smart one. So that's what I'll do, unless I should do it on the hot side. But I'm trying to get some flutter. Sorry, I suck at. Alright, I think that's it on this, in this area. I'm just tightening all the little things, and I'm noticing little things that cannot make it worse as a car. So this is rattling, and I was thinking, why is it rattling? All the bolts are on that. So check the bolts underneath. There. Actually, they're there. And then I realized we've deleted a bolt that used to be here. And it used to be a plastic trim that came out to there. That's what happens when you try to be neat. For me anyway, this car's gonna have, hopefully, AC and power steering. So I've got my power steering pump there and AC. I could have gone to the electric setup, but that's more money that I don't want to put into this car. So yeah, here I am thinking, wow, I've done it, finished everything, and I've just realized that I haven't deburred the bit that I've cut. So this guy needs to come off, which is annoying because it took me forever to get him on. So off he goes. Alright, I have the sander, but I'm missing the air tube, so I'm just going to do it manually. The inlet, I've got guns and stuff, but I can't be bothered, so I'll just do it by hand. But before that, I need to pause. I need to go pick up my daughter. She's apparently feeling unwell, so she's coming home early. See you guys. Okay, got my fitting on. Tight. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. Make sure this guy is in nicely. Yeah, that goes in nicely. Get that on. Alright. How does that look, guys? Front view. I saw it before when I was parked up. This view gives a good indication of how it looks. And wait until we fit some 15x9s under this. It's currently on 15x8s. So 15x9s, maybe on 245 tires. I don't know, about 15 inches. They've got so many good tire sizes that I can play around with. And look at that. Fabricator. Also, interesting thing about my Type R is I'm running 4-stud. Why am I running 4-stud? Because I already had my spoon brake setup on my 4-stud, and I already had the extended lug nuts on this car. Everything I had to do, well, I already had it. So for me, it made more sense to run 4x100, because out of all the tires and wheels that I've collected, I have none that are 15x9. No, none that are 5x114. So that's why I decided to swap it. And I want to run a 9-inch wide tire, and finding that on a 16-inch 5x114 was relatively quite hard. But I recently found out a friend found some C28s, 16x9s. Apparently they were super rare, so this is probably the next best option for me. 15s. Maybe I'll start a trend. Maybe this is the trend. Get on it. Just got a delivery. This is the V-band for my blow valve. So let's put it on and let's see where we can mock it up. Alrighty, so it's on. So what do you reckon we should put it? There, in here. It's probably too tight. We could probably put on this pipe on the exit side, underneath there. But I think I'm liking the look here. Yeah, the look there probably be the best. What do you guys think? There, here off the side, here on the inside, but then it'll just make it look a little bit cluttered there. Up here, over here, not too sure. I think I'm digging it there, right there. Yeah, like that, nice and subtle. That means I have to relocate some of these hoses to go to the blow valve. It can be done. Alright. Now, because the intercooler sits so close, I have to find another place to mount the horn. So, that's something I'm thinking about right now. Alright guys, managed to get it off. It's this bracket, so I need to find another version, a longer version of this, in my trusty metal box. It's getting hot. Sorry about the language. Right, so it'll be sitting like that, and I'll mount it behind the brace. Ooh. Really need to clean this area. I need a 12mm and extension. Let's go. 12mm and extension. I should really do this out the garage instead of just ducking my head every single time. Delivery driver. Okay, I have to bend that little area out a bit so I can latch onto that, or I could just eyeball it. Let's eyeball it. There we go. Eyeballed. Fixed. There you go. Because before it was the bracket was hanging out of there. I could have extended it out there, but then I'd have a 12mm sitting behind there. Alright, cool. That's that. So the car isn't done. Don't let all this progress fool you. I don't think it's ready. But let's make it look ready. Alright, so we've got this, which completes the front of the car. Bumpers back on. Let's put that on. I think it's clips or something behind it stopping it from going in. Go. That's a little bit better. Close the bonnet, I'll leave the bonnet open. I'll leave the bonnet open for you guys and I'll close it later. Alright, as promised, it's time to start this thing. Turbine motors. Noise happening. Is that belt squealing. So that's it for today. Alright, have fun.